folks. Well, oh man, first week of June. I should have probably told you this last devotional, but last week my two youngest grandchildren were reunited in the home of Jim and Emily Gattin, Gattin. I'm hoping that that's right. I'll get it straight one of these days. And well, it's pronounced right. And Lena, named after my grandmother, an amazing lady. But they were reunited in Emily and Jim's home, which means that they haven't slept now for a few days, and you can pray for them because the sleep is a premium. It's funny, Sue and I were over there visiting, and it was just a moment. Jim sat down on the couch with, I think Lincoln was there with him for just a moment. It was kind of early in the evening, very early, because we don't stay up that late, and we certainly don't stay out that long. And it was just a second, and he was sound asleep. Look, sleep is a premium. Pray for them. We kind of got abruptly cut off when we were talking about the relationship that we have with what is versus what ought to be. And we talked about the fact that God actually places a moral obligation on us through His Word and His Spirit. It'd be empty if it was merely just the Word, but the Spirit complements these things, gives us life. And so we have to ask ourselves, how do we live in a very kind of pluralistic society where there's so many different, how can I say it, expressions of what is considered to be reality. Kind of craziness. People arguing over so many things, and many of them just totally bizarre, just weird. And yet we as Christians have to approach this culture, and we can basically approach it in two ways. We can either just ignore it and kind of just be dissolved into it, which means that the salt has lost its flavor. It has no value. It's being trampled underfoot by men. Or we could do, I think, 2 Corinthians chapter 6, we can separate ourselves from the world around us. And in so doing, we actually have nothing to do with the world, which, by the way, is impossible in many ways, especially in the day and age we live in with mass media and so many other aspects. Or we can do what I think Christians throughout the 2,000 years that Christianity has been around have done. We engage, but yet we preserve our differences. We engage the culture because we are missionaries. We live an active faith. We have an honest love for the world around us. We recognize an honest truth that men and women are lost without Christ. We acknowledge that there is a judgment that will come, and that there is a provision, and that provision is Christ. And that God has paved the way for every person on this earth, whosoever will, there in Revelation 22. Whosoever will may come. And we want to make sure that we are engaging the culture in the best way we possibly can without compromising our values. Because that issue of moral ought that is created by God Himself actually is what everybody in the world is struggling with. If the Spirit is convicting the world of sin, in other words, in righteousness and judgment, and it all relates to Christ, not only His life, but His ability to be our intercessor, and the fact that this world, the God of this world, has been judged there in John 16, verse 8 and on. Then, truth is, if we live as kind of alienated neighbors, alienated co-workers, alienated individuals that recognize that we have a moral ought that is distinctly different, but we also have an incredible burden and love for the people that we are co-workers or our neighbors. And we also have an answer in 1 Peter 3:15 for the hope that lies within us. There's a reason why we do what we do. There is an explanation for the ought, what motivates us. I believe that everyone in the world is searching for this to some degree. And it's certainly at various times in their life, it becomes even more of a desire for those that are lost. So don't give up. Don't quit. Don't be ashamed. Don't let this world shame you in to being apathetic. Live out your biblical ought, no matter what is. Amen? Till next time, friends. God bless you.